This ancient wisdom story has the power to provide you with clarity and orientation in various life situations. The wisdom is obvious and clear, and over time can be interpreted situationally and subjectively. The meaning behind this story is not stated because each listener is encouraged to create their own understanding. Once there was a farmer. He lived with his 2 sons and 2 daughters-in-law. The farmer's family loved and respected him. Often, his sons would look after the fields while they let their father rest. One day, they all went to a nearby town to attend a function, and the farmer warned his family.
On the way, there is a forest. We must return home before it gets dark.
But the function started late, and by the time it was over, it was late evening. And the farmer urged his family to hurry. And they instantly started their journey back home. But by the time they reached the forest, it had become dark. So, the farmer instructed his family.
We cannot cross the forest at night. It is not wise. We will stay here until morning.
So, the family decided to take shelter under a big banyan tree, which was on the outskirts of the forest. It was at this point that the farmer began to give his sons and daughters-in-law chores to set up for the night. He asked one of his sons,
Son, please collect some firewood for the night.
And his son replied,
Yes, sir, Father.
And to his other son, he requested,
I see a guava tree over there, my son. Please fetch us some good guava fruit to eat tonight.
And his other son responded,
Right away, Father.
The farmer also gave a chore for his daughters-in-law.
Ladies, would you two please kindle a fire for the firewood?
The family completed all the farmer's requested chores, and the farmer said,
Now, let's have guavas.
After they all ate some guavas, the farmer got some juke from his bag, which is a rough fiber for making twine and rope, and began weaving a rope. At this time, one of his sons asked him,
Father, are you going to get some sleep?
And the farmer told his son,
You can all sleep at your own will. I will remain awake and on guard.
All this time, a giant living on the big banyan tree had been watching the farmer and his family. After the farmer's family drifted into sleep, the giant wondered what the farmer was doing and came down from the tree and confronted the farmer. At first the farmer was frightened, but was able to remain calm. And the giant asked the farmer,
What is that in your hands?
And the farmer answered,
This is called a rope.
And the giant questioned.
What is it for?
The farmer became more courageous, and he said,
It is for tying up your hands and feet and hanging you from this big old banyan tree. Just one call from me, and my sons will catch you, and they will tie you up with this rope and...
The giant held up his hands to stop the farmer's threat, for he had seen the farmer's sons obey him, and so he was scared. And so he pleaded with the farmer.
No. No. Please do not call your sons. I will give you a special gift if you spare me.
The giant then magically produced a chest that was full of gold and silver coins, and promised the farmer,
It's all yours if you do not wake your sons.
The farmer was overjoyed, and in the morning he showed the chest to his family and told them what had happened last night. And with astonishment he stated,
We are rich.
The farmer and his family returned home. Soon they renovated their house and bought various things of comfort and luxury. At this point, their neighbor, a carpenter, began to wonder, and out of curiosity he went to see the farmer and asked him,
How did you become so wealthy overnight?
The farmer, being a kind man, told the carpenter about the giant that lived on the banyan tree and ended the story by saying,
The giant was scared and gave me a chest full of gold and silver simply for not waking my sons.
And the carpenter replied,
I see.
The next day, the carpenter took his own family to the opposite side of the forest to camp overnight at the big banyan tree. And when they got there, he issued orders to his sons. To one of them he said,
Go and get some firewood.
And to the other one he said,
And you, go get some fruit.
But his sons hardly paid their father any attention. And one replied,
I will do it later. Let me rest for a while.
And the other one answered,
Oh, I am tired from all the walking. I will rest a while as well.
The carpenter then ordered his daughter-in-law,
Collect some straw and twigs to kindle a small fire.
but the daughter-in-law simply ignored her father-in-law, and the carpenter had to do all the chores on his own. Finally, when he finished everything and settled down, he took some jute from his bag and began to weave a rope, hoping that the giant was watching them. And yes, indeed the giant had been observing the carpenter and his family. And after his family fell to sleep, the giant came down the tree and stood in front of the carpenter. And the carpenter thought to himself, There he is, now I must play the trick. So the carpenter stood up, gazed at the giant, and began to sway the rope with a devious smile on his face. And the giant asked him,
What is this?
And the carpenter replied with a sarcastic laugh,
Ha, 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 it's a rope.
The giant questioned,
I know. But why do you sway it like that?
And the carpenter threatened.
Because I am going to tie you up with this rope.
The giant immediately responded.
Oh, really?
And the carpenter answered.
Yes. Just one call from me, and my sons will wake up and catch you, tie you with this rope, and...
The giant interrupted him with a laugh, saying,
Ha, ha, ha. And what?
And the carpenter replied,
and hang you up there, from that branch. That is what is going to happen to you.
The giant said,
Oh, you mean your sons do whatever you tell them, is that so?
And the carpenter replied,
Yeah, so you better give me a chest full of treasure, or I will call my sons. Aren't you afraid of me?
The giant folded his arms, twitched his eyebrows, and said,
If your own family is not afraid of you, then I have no reason to be afraid of you either. Wake your family and leave this place. Now.
The giant then chased away the carpenter and his family, and went back to his home on the banyan tree. Ancient wisdom stories help us to better understand how and why things happen in our lives.